Hello and welcome to Health Live at Seniors Today. It's the 25th of December, so a Merry Christmas to all of you. And we're just a few days away from the turn of the year. Yes, December 25th is when we are recording this. When you are watching us live, and those of you who are watching us later, you do know that there are very few days left in the year. And we just thought it would be a good idea, it would be a fun idea to look at how you can use the power of exercise and staying fit in 2022. Because if there's any one thing that has emerged out of the pandemic is that the old adage, health is wealth, has emerged as the all-important line in our lives. And we thought it would be a good opportunity to invite once again to our session Dr. Binal Dave. Dr. Dave is a senior physiotherapist and a specialist in geriatric care, women's health and rehabilitation, aquatic therapy, and has a fellowship in pelvic floor rehabilitation. She has a certificate on female sex health rehabilitation. She is a certified manual therapist, uh, a prop reformer, and a Pilates teacher trainer, a Kinesio taping practitioner, a certified myofascial release practitioner, and she is associated with these ever so popular aquacentric health center or health spa or whatever else one could call it. She has also written for us in the past with Seniors Today. So welcome again, Dr. Dave. How are you?
Very good evening, everybody. I'm fine, Pradyuman sir. Thanks for the kind introduction and Merry Christmas to all of us.
And so, as the year draws to a close, what is your assessment of how things are? Let me ask you a question. You've been in the practice of physiotherapy for so many years. Do you find that people are paying more attention to their health in the last 2 years post-pandemic?
Yes, absolutely. Because all of them have realized that exercise does have a hold on improving or increasing the immunity. So certainly, yes, people are more aware about how they should be more healthy along with the lifestyle modifications. So in lifestyle modifications, it's both exercise and nutrition which go hand in hand. They are two sides of a coin.
Right. And, there is this all new fear of the Omicron virus and all of that. And, the session that when we spoke to you about it first, the Omicron virus was not raging as it is right now. The threat wasn't as much. But, even as you speak, perhaps you could throw some light and give us your advice as to how people can perhaps look at their health once again, because we might be the government in Maharashtra has announced some restrictions as far as the night is concerned. We may well have another lockdown. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but in case it's required, it might well happen. So there are going to be restrictions which will happen. Perhaps people will not be able to go out for their walks as they were doing. People may not be able to go out to the gyms as they had begun doing. So over to you as you speak, Vinodji. Can I request you to start your presentation? And those of you who have questions, please, as always, put them on the Q&A tab as against the chat window, and put in your questions. If you put in your age and your gender, perhaps you may get a more appropriate answer. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sure. So I welcome you all for today's Health Live. As Sir rightly mentioned, I am leading the Orthopaedics and Women's Healthcare Department at Aquacentric Private Limited. So today's topic is Younger New Year, using the power of exercise and staying fit in 2022. So let us start. Your life, your style. So that jots us down to lifestyle for older adults. So as I mentioned earlier, exercise and nutrition are essential parts of a healthy lifestyle throughout one's life. And as we age, our requirements are ever changing. A growing body of research illustrates how regular exercises are important for seniors. So, the health benefits of exercise in older adults. Many physicians and researchers say that seniors should remain as active as possible without overexerting oneself. In older adults, exercise helps you live longer, healthier, and more joyous lives. So, exercise will improve balance. Regular exercise means more energy. Exercise helps prevent and counteract disease. Regular exercise improves brain function. So let us have few exercise prescriptions for you today. So what are the options available? It may be at your home, it may be in a fitness studio, it may be in a pool, but right now I would not advise you to go in a public pool. So these are just few exercise options for you. You can select, and I will also give you prescription ahead in the presentation. So the first option is water aerobics. Exercising in the water is ideal for those living with arthritis and other forms of joint pains, as one of the property of water, which is the buoyancy, puts less stress on your joints. Hence, it also improves your strength, flexibility, balance with minimal stress on your body. So, and all of us like to exercise in a pool because we feel lighter. Hence, if it is a temperature controlled pool that is like 33 degrees or 34 degrees of pool temperature, then you feel even more relaxed and your muscles and joints are also at ease. Hence, water aerobics stands first in the exercise prescriptions all around the world. Chair yoga. This is a low impact form of exercise which will improve your muscle strength, mobility, balance, and flexibility, all of which are crucial health aspects for all the seniors. It is an accessible form of yoga because you just need a chair, and hence it provides less stress on the muscles, joints, and bones than any other form of yoga because you are sitting and doing certain movements of the important muscles and joints, which will improve your balance and flexibility. Then resistance band workouts. This exercises are ideal for strengthening your core, which improves your posture, mobility, and balance. So what are resistance bands? They are stretchy strips of rubber that add resistance to your workout modify the resistance afterwards. And it is also giving you a little less stress than any other heavy forms of strength equipments. Plus, if you do it in a group or a bunch of people together, it's a fun workout to do. Pilates. So Pilates is ideal for all age groups, and it is a popular low impact form of exercise which has been developed a century ago. In Pilates, your breathing, your alignment, your concentration, and core strength are emphasized, which involves mats, balls, and other accessories which are inflated, which will help you build your strength without the stress like higher impact exercises. It has been shown that it improves your balance, it develops your core strength, and it increases the flexibility. It is called a body mind workout because you have to connect your mind to all the movements along with the core activations and pelvic floor activations, which are very important for all of us throughout our age groups. Few exercise prescriptions which are there in front of us. They are walking and body weight workouts. So walking, one of the least stressful and accessible form of exercise. Walking promotes a healthy lifestyle. while strengthening exercises, lowering your risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and colon cancer. So now, as we were mentioning, if Omicron will put us into a lockdown or some restrictions, we might not be allowed to walk in the park or in the building, then no problem. Put a music on the TV and you can have a tap of the steps. In the available space, you can keep walking with a good music, which gives you a pace of walking. Maybe you have a hall which is small or a big or a moderate size, doesn't matter. We want the steps. So the minimum recommendation is 5,000 steps. Progressively, we have to reach up to 10,000 steps a day. So you can divide your steps like morning, afternoon, evening, or morning, evening. And that's about it. You don't need a park to walk, or you don't need a building or a corridor to walk. You can walk inside your house as well. Body weight workouts. So muscle loss is commonly seen in older adults. So it can be very devastating and debilitating. So around a third of seniors live with severe muscle loss, which can lead to hormonal problems, a decrease in the ability to metabolize protein, and other problems. Hence, body weight workouts are one of the best ways to counteract the effects of muscle atrophy. So, what are the types of body weight workouts? They are squats, but it has to be done under supervision initially. You have to learn it well, and then you can do it by yourself. Lunges, push-ups, but there are always variations. So how we progress from mild to moderate to advanced. So initial supervision is a must for body weight workouts. Strength training. Strength training has been shown to alleviate the symptoms of diabetes, osteoporosis, back pain, and depression, while helping you also manage your weight. It also contributes to a higher metabolism and enhanced glucose control. Dumbbell exercises are some of the best ways to strengthen, train if they are performed with proper precautions. Dumbbells allow seniors to isolate muscle group to strengthen while improving the balance and flexibility. So we can use TheraBands, TheraLoops, TheraTubes, dumbbells. And here you are seeing a male and a female are sitting on a vestibular ball or an exercise ball, and they have TheraTubes in their hands. So along with core activation, we are building up muscle strength. So let's have some guidelines for exercises. Some or the other type of physical activity every day one must do. It will improve your health and it will reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke, which is very common above age 65. So let us aim to be physically active every day, even if it is just light activity. Do activities that improve strength, balance, flexibility on at least 2 days a week. Do at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity if you are already active. If you are starting, if you are a beginner, then it has to start at a beginner level. Or we can combine both at a later stage. Reduce your time spending sitting or lying down and break up long periods of not moving with some activities. So let me give you one guideline. 30 minutes of sitting, you have to offload and stand for a few seconds or take 1-2 rounds and then again you can sit. If you are standing for 30 minutes, you need to sit for a few seconds and again you can stand. Same follows for walking. If you are walking for 30 minutes, sit for a few seconds or a few minutes and then you can again walk. Lying down also when you're resting, 30 minutes, you should break your pattern. Maybe from straight line, you're going to sideline or on your tummy. So this is how ergonomic advices are to be followed to keep your spine and knees safe. If you've fallen or worried about falling, there are fall prevention exercises which will improve your strength, balance, and flexibility. In my all the slides, the main focus would be on strength, balance, and flexibility because it helps you make stronger and you will feel more confident on your feet. Now let us have a look at which exercises older adults should avoid. So here are the list of following exercises. Squats with dumbbells or weights are a strict no-no. A bench press with a barbell is a strict no-no. Leg press, long distance running. Of course, if you have been doing, then also jogging is more preferable, and that too in intervals for those who are already exercising, not for beginners. Abdominal crunches are a strict no-no. Hence, as such, the abdominal crunches, we are not going to achieve anything. Upright row, deadlifts, high intensity interval training, rock climbing, power clean. These are few forms of exercises which are given in the gyms, which should be avoided above the age of 65. Now let us see which activities are going to strengthen our muscles. How to know that you are strengthening the muscles? You should exercise to the point where you need a short rest before repeating the activity. There are many ways you can strengthen your muscles, whether you are at a home or in a gym. So these exercises, like sitting exercises, strength, flexibility, balance. As I mentioned, these are four main criteria or the indicators which an older adult should follow for their regular exercise regime. So let's have a look. Carrying heavy shopping bags is also a strength training. Tai Chi, which is also a strength training. Walking with the resistance bands. Heavy gardening, such as digging, shoveling, is also a type of strength training. So let's have a take-home message. Exercise and nutrition are pillars of a healthy lifestyle. Different types of exercises are to be incorporated, that is strength, flexibility, balance. 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity if you are already active, and a combination of both can also be taken care of. Yeah. So now we will open this for questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Your presentation was fairly detailed, and I'm sure there will be some people who have questions. As some of them have come in, let me get to the questions right away. Just 1 second. Yes. Yeah. So we have a question from Mr. N.N. Ravindranath. Mr. N.N. Ravindranath, Mr. Narayan Ravindranath. He is 77 years and he is from Trivandrum. Please advise what type of exercises for me. I practice mini yoga, hand and leg stretching, breathing exercises. I practice breathing by inhaling fresh air through left nostril by counting slowly up to 15 and exhaling through the right nose by counting 10. I repeat this vice versa for half an hour. Afterwards, inhale and exhale through both nostrils for next half an hour. Is this the right way? If not, please correct me. Next, his question is longer. Next, I used to walk nearly 1.5 kilometers through footpath every day except during the rainy days. Please advise if the practice which I follow is right. If not, please advise. So let me get to the questions. One is, he wants to know what type of exercise to do. He does the breathing exercise, what is called the Anulom Vilom, by inhaling fresh air, etc. And is this the right thing? And the second thing is walking for 1.5 kilometers on a footpath every day. Is this the right thing to do?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't get the name, sir.
Mr. Ravindranath, Mr. N.N. Ravindranath, he's 77 and he's from Trivandrum.
Sure. Yeah, sure, Doc. Sir, I would like to answer your question. The breathing exercises are a must. That is 4 to 5 times in a week. Walking also is fine. 1.5 kilometers should be restricted to 4 times in a week. I would advise, along with your stretching and flexibility, you should add some strength and balance activities, because at the age of 77, we have little bit of loss of proprioception and balance reflexes into the body. So what is proprioception? Is the effect of a joint to take up the load. So we need to add balance activities into your regime along with the strength training. That is an advice from me to you. It should be done twice in a week at least, along with the other exercises which you are doing are correct as per my knowledge.
Right. Thank you. We have a question that has come in from an anonymous attendee who asks, can you please advise you mentioned about aquatherapy. I live in Coimbatore and I'm not very sure whether there are some aquatherapy centers in my city. And also, in case there are, how do I know whether they are good or bad, given the fact that because of COVID, there could be some problems in terms of the hygiene levels and the care taken at each center. And sorry, one more question: is the therapy, the heated water, is that a must, or can it also be done in the swimming pool, which without any where there's no aqua therapy available?
Sure. So I would like to answer your question in two ways. One is, when there are summers or autumn season, you can exercise in a public pool, but during winters and monsoon, we would not advise you to exercise, because in cooler temperature pools, your joints and muscles go into an unnecessary contraction. So the freedom of movement is less than a warm temperature controlled pool. And I agree to you, right now during the COVID or the pandemic situation, entering a pool where we are not sure of the hygiene levels should be avoided, and other forms of exercises should be taken up. Let's see when the COVID is going to leave us. At that time, you can connect and we can guide you over a call or a video call about few exercises you can do it by yourself in a public pool.
Okay, so this person has asked, what about swimming in the sea or in a river? Is that okay? Or just putting oneself, I would add, just going, to a natural form of water body. Is that all right to do?
Again, what we want to achieve, what is our goal, is to be taken care of. We have to evaluate you, or any physiotherapist can evaluate you before you start swimming in an ocean or a sea. We need to see the shoulder movements, the shoulder range, the back mobility, the knee, and if it is safe, then only we can allow you swimming.
Right. Thank you. We have quite a few questions coming in. So we have a question from Mr. Brijendra Kumar, who says, I'm male 676. I have osteoarthritis in my left knee and it restricts my movement. Does physiotherapy help in this case? I do not wish to go in for a knee replacement, he says. That is Mr. Brijendra Kumar. He is 76.
So, sir, if all your functional or the daily activities are not hampered, then we can try and save your surgery, and we need to see the status of your muscle strength. There are many articles which prove that physiotherapy will help in arthritis. We cannot reverse the grade of arthritis, but we can prevent it from worsening for sure. Plus, the ligaments, the muscles, the joints, which have to be at the optimum quality, the physiotherapist and physiotherapy would be helping you do the same. So physiotherapy is the direct indication for you, sir.
So there is a question which has come from Mr. B.S. Nagashetty. He says, my wife, who's 61 and suffering from mild osteoarthritis in the left leg, she normally stands in the kitchen for more than 3 to 4 hours. What are the physiotherapy exercises she should undertake?
So, sir, there are certain number of exercises which are to be done. So some physiotherapist around you can prescribe you the exercises, and standing 3-4 hours is a strict no. So ma'am has to avoid standing for 30-35 minutes. So she has to divide her work, like cutting of vegetables she can do sitting, Then again, she's standing and preparing something. Then again, she has to sit for some time or walk around, and then she can continue. For physiotherapy prescription, one assessment is required, then the prescription can be done. But mild osteoarthritis can be taken care by physiotherapy.
Thank you. We have a question from Deepa Kokar from Mumbai. She says, he says, I'm 74 years old, male. I have knee pain. I'm walking for 10 minutes and then the pain starts and then I stop for 2 to 3 minutes. Please let me know whether I can continue walking daily, whether walking will aggravate knee pain, I guess. Please guide. That is Mr. Narayan Kokal.
Sure. So have you done your x-rays is my first question. We need to see the grade of osteoarthritis. Then we can advise whether walking can be avoided for a few months or it can be continued for the remaining years. And as I said, interval training will work for you. If the pain is starting at 12th or 13th minute, you should walk for 10 minutes, take rest, and then again try to walk for 10 minutes. See if this works for you. And you can contact a physiotherapist near you. He or she will guide you for the exercises. You can do it by yourself at home and then see whether the pain is reducing or not.
Right. Thank you. We have a question from Katie Dadanchi. Her question is, she says, Doctor, my husband is 76 and he gets regular cramps in his legs at night. What is the reason for this and what should he do to relieve this problem? He's actually very active during the daytime.
So this leads me to a question whether all the blood test or the blood profile is normal. So it can be either vitamin B12 or D3 deficiency, or the worst case scenario can be something related to the venous insufficiency, because muscle cramps will indicate these two things. So we need to do a blood profile and visit a physician, take a consent from the physician, and then only he can continue his further exercises. So a blood investigation is the first indication in this case.
Right. Thank you. There's a question from Mr. Aditya Bhatnagar, who says, my physiotherapist advises cycling rather than walking for the knees. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's right, sir, because it is a non-weight bearing activity. In walking, you are taking load on the hip, knee, ankle. So in cases of arthritis, cycling is a safer form of exercise where you are not loading your knee and ankle directly, but also it helps in mobility of the knee. So the physiotherapist is right.
Right. There's a question from Colonel Duggal, and this is a question which I thought I should ask you on my own, but I thought it was too outlandish. Colonel Duggal says, I'm 77 male. Can we use a bathtub for water exercises?
No, sir, because there has to be a certain depth where I have to immerse the client till the sternum level, or at least above the waist, because at certain immersions, we achieve certain properties of water and we take the help of properties of water to increase the mobility and strength. So we make you walk from above sternum level. We change the depths to achieve different things and different goals in water. So bathtub is like जाके आपने पाँव डुबा दिए तो थोड़ी देर अच्छा लगेगा, पर कुछ strength नहीं बढ़ेगा और flexibility भी नहीं बढ़ेगी.
And what's your view about jacuzzis? There are quite a few jacuzzi available in various spas. Is that something that is advisable?
So spa is for relaxation, and aquatic therapy we decide based on goals. Whether the client has knee pain and we want to treat the knee pain, if the client has back pain and we want to treat the back pain, so we take the client on a float and also give movements of the spine. और jacuzzi में जाके आप सिर्फ बैठोगे या ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा you will cycle with your legs or move your arms. So based on क्या condition है, we can advise कि jacuzzi help करेगा कि नहीं. For relaxation and soothing, yes, it will help. Therapy wise, no, it will not help.
Okay, we have a question from Sudha Jagtiani. she asks, which exercises are advisable to strengthen the stomach muscles?
So core training, as I mentioned, Pilates is the best form of exercise for abdominals. So there are different set of exercises which can be done for abdominal muscle strengthening. It will start in lying flat. Then we take you to prone, that is on your tummy. Then we bring you to sitting, and then in standing. So as we have progressed developmentally, like from pehle hum aaye the, when we were as a newborn, we were lying flat on the back. Then we started going on the tummy. Then we started crawling. Then we went into kneeling. Then we came into standing. So same way we have to make you exercise to strengthen your muscles and trunk muscles. So trunk is where the abdomen and the back is. So all these movements are to be done in developmental sequence to increase the strength and endurance of the muscles. But in one liner, Pilates is the best form of exercise for abdominal muscle or core muscle strengthening.
Thanks. We have a question from Mr. Suresh Khate, who is 68. His question is, in case of valve calcification problem, band exercises can be done, and what are the other exercises to increase the heart muscle strength? As during stress test, walking on treadmill doesn't go beyond 6 minutes. That's his issue. And his next question is, for stress management and headache and constipation issues, what are the exercises, breathing exercises, therapy to be done? So let's go to the first one first about
because heart many questions in one question. So for the valve calcification, it's a cardiac rehab which has to be done under supervision of cardiovascular therapist. So they will slowly work as per your exercise heart rate. Exercise heart rate is to be taken care of even when you're walking. So there's a band which is available which shows you your heart rate. So you need to exercise under supervision if there is valve calcification. For stress management, there are relaxation techniques on land and in water, so which are indicated. For constipation, pelvic floor exercises along with pelvic floor stretches which will help you. And there are little lifestyle modifications like high fiber intake, good amount of fluid intake, and we need to change little bit of bowel habits, like a position to do your potty, which is called squatty potty position, is to be obtained first. That has to be changed. When you're sitting on a commode, you should place a stool underneath your feet and then try and defecate. And I forgot what was, one was stress, one was constipation, and one I forgot. Migraine.
No, 1 second. Sorry, I have also. I'll come to this. Just 1 second. This was. I think you've answered the question.
Yeah.
Great. We have a question from for stress management and headache and constipation.
Yeah. So stress management, I did advise relaxation techniques on land and water. Constipation, I advised pelvic floor and lifestyle modifications. So yeah, I think I've answered. Yeah.
So we have a question from Mr. Narendra Acharya. He asks, is acupressure an option for physiotherapy for muscle pain?
So it is a different form of therapy. So it's like one has to listen to its own body. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So you can try. Yeah, there are Chinese literatures, evidence-based literatures, which says that acupressure helps for muscle aches and pains.
Yeah, thank you. We have Mr. Brijendra Kumar has asked another question. His question is, should the mask be removed while exercising so that the oxygen intake is not restricted?
So right now, as Omicron is around, which is very infectious, so it's not advisable to remove your mask. But if you are in a place where there's nobody else, which is not possible in Mumbai though, if any other city, or the best option is to wear a surgical or a disposable mask, which is breathable, and then exercise. Or you can take rest bouts with breathing exercises and again wear your mask.
Right. Thank you. We have a question from Suresh Ghate. Another question. He says, I have a chronic cold issue with continuous nose flowing and sneezing. What are the physical exercises, breathing exercises to be undertaking, and what other precautions should one undertake?
So this indicates me sinusitis. So along with breathing exercises, it would be steam inhalation. You can do pranayama with Anulom Vilom, Brahmari, Kapalbhati. If you have hypertension, then you cannot do Kapalbhati and Bhastrika. If you have normal blood pressure, then you can do Bhastrika as well. And massaging at the sinuses will also help and drain your fluid out. So it's like massaging at the forehead, under the eye, near the nose, near the ears. That will help you relieve your sinuses if it is sinusitis.
And for how long should one do the exercise?
Exercises, it would be like 5 minutes at one sinus area.
Right. We have one last question from Devendra Gada, who I know is not a senior, but I know he's a regular attendee. So I'm going to ask this question. Devendra Gada says, in case of spine deformities like scoliosis, spondylitis, etc., in older adults, what should be done?
Sorry, you will repeat your question?
In case of spine deformities and things like spondylitis in older adults, what can be done?
So as I mentioned in my earlier slides, it is flexibility, strength, and posture modification. So all these three has to be started like stage-wise. First, you will start with flexibility, that is stretching. Then you will go to strength, and then maintaining a particular posture, you will be working with light resistance, but for a longer duration of exercise. So there are TheraBands available. There are 1 kg dumbbells available. If it is cervical spondylitis, then you have to work from your neck, shoulder girdle, and scapular girdle exercises. If it is lumbar spondylitis, you have to work for your core, back muscles, and trunk muscles. And if there is a structural deformity, then, for example, it is a S-shaped curve, then this area we need to stretch and this area we need to strengthen. So again, sir, without evaluation, it is difficult to prescribe exercises. Which side of the curve has a C and which side has a S? So that has to be evaluated.
Thank you, Dr. Binal Dave, for the various questions, and I think you've answered most of them. I'm going to ask you one question, which perhaps concerns a whole lot of people. We don't know how this Omicron virus infestation is going to be over the next few days, next few weeks, etc. But assuming that it does, and God forbid it does become, it is rages everywhere, and life does come to a standstill, what will be the single biggest thing that you would advise people who are stuck in at home? Because we've seen what it means to be stuck at home. We know what it means to have restrictions across our homes by the local authorities. What would you advise people to do just in case they are forced in, whether by themselves or because of the restrictions advised by the governments, etc.?
Yeah. So one advice.
You mentioned about the chaired exercises, etc. So is there one or two things that you could perhaps advise people,
Sure,
that they should be doing?
So I'm going to advise 3 things. One is move more, keep moving. Second is breathing exercises. And third, so in move more, there are types of exercises which we explained, either chair or with a TheraBand or a TheraTube or with dumbbells. And third is taking care of your posture, because when we are at home, we are in a slouched or a wrong position and we keep on doing things which are in wrong posture. So 3 things: move more, breathe well, and sit in a proper posture. So if you want me to demonstrate few chair exercises, I can do it right away.
Can I? We could do that. Can I make you an open invitation to write an article for our January issue on this, because people will want to know, and our January issue will be out on Jan 15th. So it would be an appropriate time. Perhaps you could do that. But yeah, there's nothing like if you can demonstrate it now. But I don't know how the camera, etc., will take care of things.
I will try to see if everybody can see me. The people who are already present.
Yes, I can.
I'm going to do it more in sitting only. Am I visible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So we'll start with the head and neck. So very slowly we move down and up, very slowly, no exaggerated movements. Then we move right and left, very slowly. If anybody has pain, they have to do in their pain-free limit. If the end range is painful, we will restrict and we'll do in the pain-free range. Then ear to the shoulder. Without lifting the shoulder, only the neck moves. Then hands are behind the head and we move elbows front and back. Then we take the hands to the shoulders and we do shoulder girdle, but very slow. You look at my pace of movement, that's the speed you should do. Front and then reverse. So this is for this is for upper body. As you mentioned, I will write it down in an article where there are few pictographics of exercises, so they can refer to that article.
So these exercises are very simple. Even I could do them.
Exactly. So it's that all the movements have to be simple so that you can remember. Same can be done for lower limb, like lifting your heel up and down, lifting your knee up and down, little bit of rotation from the spine, and that's about it. It's not tough. It's easy.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And
so I think people can refer our previous health live. We have the slide where the chair exercises are. A video is made for the chair exercises.
Right. So what we'll do is as we normally do, we carry the takeaways of this session on Monday. So we will have the takeaways in the session, and we will also place the link to the earlier session that we had, including the video. So we'll do that. We'll have the video of this session. It is already live on Facebook and YouTube, so it can always be seen. We will also have the edited extracts from of this video. Monday evening is when we are going to have this. A little late this time because the person who's our producer is Christmas, so he's taking a short break, and it's fine. So that's how it is. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this session. I think it has been fairly informative, and you answered all the questions. For those of you who are regulars, and for all of you over here, we're going to be taking a break next week. It's Jan 1st, and we thought let's not discuss health, etc. We left it to this time to look at some future planning, and we requested Dr. Binal Dave to do that, and we will be back once again on January 8th, which is a Saturday, the same time, 5 p.m. And those of you who are regular can see what we you are in touch with what we have. Otherwise, it will be there on our social handles. And because we're taking a break, we will also post it on our website, that is seniorstoday.in, as to who's the doctor who's going to be there, and etc. So we have a great lineup of doctors already done, which was Jan 8th, 15th, and 22nd in the month of January. And do stay safe and be careful about everything that you do, as you always do. And it has been great that all of you have been regulars at the Seniors Today Health webinar that we conduct every Saturday at 5 p.m. and wish you great health, wish you a lot of happiness, and wish you a lot of prosperity through the next last few days of this year and through the next year ahead. And thank you once again, Dr. Binal, for this session and for taking time out on a Saturday evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.